Batgirl issue 33, Mairghread Scott writing with Elena Casagrande on the art. So I'm definitely glad to be away from Pelletier because I was feeling a little bit down on his art in that last
Yeah,
arc.
you were, weren't you?
I ended up enjoying the arc overall, but the art was
Should mention Scott Godlewski does a couple of pages in this.
quite right. He does. So this is a James Gordon Jr. issue set before his appearance in The Batman Who Laughs. On the one hand, I could be annoyed that this seems to mostly just be here to set up where he is in The Batman Who Laughs.
But
It's actually really well told, and it's such a personal story for Barbara that I don't really mind.
yeah, makes sense for her to have this moment of, oh, he's out and around.
Yeah, it's basically he's out, so she kind of goes over the top and beating up people. Like, where is he? You know, like
Yeah.
where did he go? She basically goes Batman, essentially. Yeah, and she's like ignoring her responsibilities. She's not getting into to her work at the campaign. She's ignoring everyone. She's hanging people upside down. And there's even a moment where she's like streaming this guy she's hanging upside down. The art's very good here. You see her face is like, oh, what am I doing? Like I'm torturing this, fairly innocent guy. It's his parole officer for next to nothing.
And she's like, sorry, just, I'll let you go. Thank you for
Yeah.
your help.
Uh, but then Jason catches Gordon Jr. outside the campaign office, and she comes over as Barbara, not as Batgirl, and basically tries to talk him down. And probably one of my favorite scenes of the whole book is Gordon himself shows up because he's went off his assigned route, so we got flagged. So he shows up in the car, and their entire conversation is playing out. The coloring's changing. It's the idea is that the siren on the
Yeah, it's
car,
still flashing.
the lights. It's flashing between red and blue. So every panel alternates between red and blue.
It looks fantastic.
It's great. It's a really great way to set the pacing and the atmosphere. But yeah, she's pissed at him. You think this is okay that he's out, and he's like, "No, we'll try and keep you safe." And it's the idea here is that Gordon, despite everything that Junior's done, he still kind of wants to believe there's a possibility of him being better. Like he believes that this method, this chip in therapy, this drug that he's been taking
Could work.
is working, and Babs just isn't ready for it. And I think what I like most about this is that like the obvious arc here is that maybe eventually Babs does give in and consider that maybe he can become better, but
And then it's all ruined.
and then it's all rude. And she shows up at his place as Batgirl, but I think what I like about it is she never has that. Like even at the end of the book, she's like, "No, like you've killed people, you're a monster, and I can't just forgive that or forget that or believe that anything else could happen."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, you don't get to apologize to me. This is not a thing where you can just apologize and this goes away." As much as she maybe gets a little bit angry at times, I mean, she does. She punches them at one point.
Yeah.
And she's definitely not overreacting. That's not the right phrase. She's definitely letting the stress of this fester and come out in anger across the board. But she's like, no, even if you are cured, I'm never forgiving you. It's not happening.
I don't have to, but I'll always be ready to watch over you just in case.
Yeah, I'm always going to assume you're going to go down that path. And for me, this kind of felt like it almost felt like someone who's got an addict in their family. It's like, yeah, you hope for the best, but you're always watching them to make sure they don't.
You're being cynical about it, yeah.
But it turned up even because this is killing someone's worse than doing something to yourself. So no.
I think the only thing I really don't like about this issue is that final panel where it's the Batman Who Laughs standing over him.
Yeah, I don't like that either. It feels it feels like an ad for that other book. It's like, hey, go read the Batman Who Laughs.
And I like that other book, and I like what it's doing, but this was still a really good issue in context of just her having this kind
Yeah.
I didn't need it to go, oh hey, check out that other book, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like she's looking for a reason to immediately throw him back in jail, and it's not there yet, so she's going overboard. But at the same time, you understand why she feels this way, and you don't blame her for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what makes it work. And the art's mostly pretty good. There's one or two weird postures. The panel where she's like standing over him and he's at the apartment. She's got a really weird kind of like shoulder line. It's kind of like
yeah, it's a little far back, isn't it?
Yeah, her boobs are kind of weird. Her boobs almost look like she's lying down flat, so they're kind of spread, but she's standing up.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I don't know. The posture's a little bit off.
Yeah, it is.
But for the most part, no, I like the expressions. Like I say, there was a moment earlier on where Bab's face is what sold the moment. So
definitely, really strong colors as well. Especially, we talk about a lot about that scene of the blue and red, but before that, where it's playing with all the shadows with Junior, and I really like that.
Yeah, no, it's very good. What are you giving it?
7.5.
I'll give it an 8. I've got misgivings about the final page and just kind of like maybe why it exists, but it's actually a pretty damn good issue.